everyone, my name's Miranda, and today I'm here to do another Top 5 Wednesday video for you all. And you probably all know this by now, but this week is Banned Books Week, so the topic fittingly for this week is Top 5 Banned Books you have read. So I picked out 5, even though I've read so many banned books, it turns out, as I was doing my research, and I am here to share them with all of you now. First up is Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky, I think is how you say his last name. I never read this one in school. I read this for my own about around the time the movie was coming out, but this book has been banned from schools for various reasons, mostly that it is unfit for its age group because of its realistic depictions of drugs, underage drinking, homosexuality. If you know this book, you know that it's definitely probably one that is on censors for a reason, because censors tend to get upset about certain things, and this book has all of those, but it's still a really good book, and I feel like it's a really important one for a lot of teenagers to read because it definitely helped me when I was going through like rough times. So I think it's an important book, and I definitely do not think it should be banned. And interestingly enough, I read online that it's only recently been starting being on banned books lists ever since the movie came out in 2012, and it kind of gained more popularity. That's when people started trying to ban it. So it's kind of looking like if the kids want it, the adults don't want you to have it. Next up, I have Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. I don't know how to say his name, and he's so popular that I'm gonna get yelled at for it, but I don't know how to say his name. But I read this book. I actually read this one in school, and this I put on the list simply because this is one of those ones that I was like, yeah, I get why people are so upset with this. Like, before then, it seemed like books that people tried banning, I was like, you're just reacting about nothing, but like, Catcher in the Rye, that's got some dark stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't think the book should be banned. I think it's a great book, but that's one where I was like, whew, I could see why this would get people in a tizzy, you know, like holding up the signs, burn this book, stuff like that, because it has underage drinking, sex, bad language apparently, but I'm like, all I really remember from that book is phonies, and I've never been like, oh, phony my life, phony you and your mother. Like, I've never ever done that, but at the same time, like, I can get that it kind of touches upon things that are taboo in society, especially for the time it came out in. So I can definitely see why people get angry with it, but at the same time, I think it's still a really great read because a lot of teenagers connect with what Holden's feeling, and Holden is someone who makes it out on the other side, so why wouldn't you want to expose teenagers to that there is hope at the end of the light or something like that. Then after that, I have The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton, which is a book I had heard so much about, but I actually didn't read it until earlier this year. And this book, again, is one that I really loved. I really wish I had read it when I was younger, like 15, around then, because I felt like I really could have connected with it even more than I already love it. And I just think it's such an important and inspiring book, but it's been banned for being anti-family because Ponyboy just lives with his brothers and his parents aren't around. It's been censored for its underage drinking, its underage smoking, which, if you know, they smoke so much in that book. Like, that was a thing. We were all like, oh my gosh, guys, you're all gonna have like no lungs by the time you're 30. But at the same time, I felt like it really connected to the teenager, the person who is reading that book, and it was written by S.E. Hinton when she was 16, so I feel like she really tapped into the emotions that a teenager is feeling at that time really, really well. And I mean, if you're banning this book just because it has underage drinking and underage smoking, guess what? That's not going to deter the kids from not smoking and drinking. They're gonna see it other ways, I promise you, not just besides books. Alright, number 2, I have To Kill a Mockingbird, which was actually very surprising to me when I found out that this is commonly and frequently on banned book lists, because I don't know, I feel like it actually has a really inspiring message, and it's like, hey, we need to be the bigger person, and it's got pre-racist Atticus Finch, so how could you not love it? But then when I was reading it, it has been banned for racism and language, and I was like, I don't really remember either of those like racism obviously, but like it's like anti-racism. It's like we shouldn't be racist. It's not like go punch everyone you don't like. I don't understand it. And then the language I really don't understand either, because it's from like Scout, and she's a kid, so she's not like dropping F-bombs every day, and it's not like people around her are dropping F-bombs, so I really was surprised to see that this was on the list. But I don't know, I guess there are certain places in the United States that don't think this book is appropriate to be taught. Maybe it's because it reflects badly on some states' history, but your history is your history. You can't do anything to change it. You just gotta move forward and make your future better, and banning a book isn't gonna help you do that. And my number one banned book is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. This is another one I was super surprised to find out had been banned. It doesn't seem that bad to me. Like, it's been banned for stupid reasons. It's been banned for language, which I'm like, there's like no bad words in this book at all. It's been banned to be anti-family, and I'm like, how is it anti-family just because Katniss doesn't get along with her mom and her dad is dead? Like, I don't understand that at all, because Katniss and Prim have one of the strongest familial relationships and connections I've ever seen in literature. So to say like it's against family, I just don't understand that at all. And then of course people are upset about the needless violence and consider it not suited for its age group, which is primarily young adults, which is a dumb answer. And I feel like this is one of those books, it's really like they're trying to say it's the violence and everything, but it's probably more that people are upset with how much it kind of stands against authority and how much the protagonist, who is the age of most people reading these books, stands against society and against authority and the criticisms it has of society, because yes, it's a dystopian society that isn't much like our own, but at the same time, the Hunger Games and all that entertainment, fashion, glamour that everyone focuses attention on, that's here today. We may not be killing people, but we're definitely critiquing outfits and shaming people when they make mistakes. So I feel like this is one of those books, it may be like people are like, oh, it's got bad language, it's anti-family, but really they're just trying to make it so we don't read books that criticize society in any way possible. Right, so there you have it. Those are 5 banned books I've read. I've read so many other banned books, like I said, that I could have put on this list, and there's so many surprising ones. Like Red Riding Hood, I found out was banned in a school in California one year because one of the things Red Riding Hood has in her basket for grandma is wine, and apparently children aren't supposed to know what wine is. You just turn 21 and all of a sudden there's these magical liquids that you never knew existed before, and they're just there. So anyway, thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and want to see more Top 5 Wednesday videos, and also leave a comment down below about your favorite banned book or any banned books that you have read, or if you're reading a banned book this week, since it is banned books week. I will see you next time. Bye!